Hey y'all, welcome back to Quanda's Corner. It's been a while. I know. Don't kill me. But I'm back. In case you've been under a rock, I had a baby. I'm gonna bring him in so the guys on YouTube right here, y'all can see him. And guys, I'm sorry if you're listening to the podcast, go check out the YouTube so you can actually see him, okay? Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I had a baby. Pregnancy was crazy. Fibroids, they're still there. They didn't go anywhere. But I'm actually having a sonogram done tomorrow, which is today. You guys are watching this. To check out how they're doing, if they shrunk, if they grew, what's going on. Fingers crossed, prayers up for your girl. I'm hoping they shrunk because I do not want to have another surgery at all. At all. But let me just get into my birth story, okay? So I was scheduled to have a C-section for September 14th, right? I had a talk with my doctor, me and Bear to Bay, we went through things, and I'm not a fan of taking blood. So my doctor had already scheduled for them to have something called Cell Saver, which is it kind of filters out your own blood, and then it, if you need it. She already had that on deck. The main operating room was being used for me because there was a fibroid that was literally to the right of where she needed to make the incision. So because of that, she was talking about major blood loss. And hemorrhaging. Worst case scenario, I would need to have a hysterectomy. So she wanted to have access to the hemorrhaging kit in the operating room, and then we needed room for 2 teams. One team for the baby and 1 team for me. Okay, great. I could not, if you ever had surgery, you cannot eat the day before surgery. Like once midnight hits, that's it. That's your cutoff. You can't eat anymore, right? So we knew we had to be at the hospital by 1. There was a little bit of things I wanted to do around the house before we left, because I know with a C-section, when I came home, I was going to be very limited to what I could do. So I was just doing that. Bear to Bay went and got breakfast. Oh my God, it smelled so freaking good. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I want to eat. I couldn't even drink. And being pregnant, it's September here in New York. It's still warm. So I am like dying of thirst. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so thirsty. Oh my gosh, the food smells so good. And I couldn't have anything. Nothing. Fine, whatever. So what we end up doing is we're getting ready. Now, let me tell you guys something about me and Bear to Bay. When it comes to appointments, we're very on time. If we are late because of parking, it's like maybe 5 minutes late at most. But for whatever reason, like, we were running really behind schedule. And we got a lot of gifts from the baby shower. I'm going to actually do another video for you guys on the things that I just love the best. Like, I just love and use every day. I feel like a newborn essentials. I'll get that video up for you guys too. But anyway. So we had a jumper for him. You put the baby in. I think they go on at about maybe 5 or 6 months. And I was like, hey, my mom said we could leave stuff at their house because they have a whole bunch of extra room. So like, let's drop this off at my parents' house because we're going to be out there. I did not have the baby where I live at. I went out to Brooklyn to have him. I know, everybody's like, why would you go so far to have him? Nope, that's because that's the hospital my doctor was affiliated with, and when I tell you I trusted her, that's where I went. Anyway, so I'm like, yo, we gotta go because we just dropped this at my parents' house, and then we still need to make our way to the hospital. We were supposed to be there at 1 o'clock. Y'all, by the time we got in the car, we pull out, we're looking at the time, and I'm like, we're gonna be coming real close to getting to my parents' house because it was now about 11:30. And in order for us to make it from where we live to my parents' house and then to the hospital, we actually needed to leave by like 10:30, 11 the latest. Right? Okay, fine. So at this point now we're like, what are we gonna do? What's gonna happen? Anyway, y'all, we get on the expressway. We're going. As we're on, okay, now if you live in New York, you know the Grand Central, right? As we're going on the Grand Central, Better Bay tries to like merge into the right lane. A freaking yellow taxi comes and like almost like bangs into the side of where I'm sitting, on the passenger side of the car to where I'm sitting, and he swerved just in time to miss it. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I kid you not, literally like 5 minutes later, boom, we hit something. The car starts smoking. I'm like, oh my God. He's like, what the fuck? We get over to the side. Excuse my language, I didn't even know. Sorry. We get over to the side and the car smoking. He's like, oh my gosh, like his car is his baby. So he's like, he's not panicked, but he's just like, oh no, why right now? Why do I need this to happen? So he gets out, he's shaking the car. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say in that moment. I'm just like, yikes, this could be bad, but let's see how things go. Maybe it was just a little something. I don't drive. I don't know anything about cars, so I don't really know. Fine. Yo, y'all. When we hit that bump, it was about maybe something to 12. Maybe about something to 12. Like maybe 5 minutes to 12. Mind you, we need to be at the hospital at 1 o'clock, right? Y'all, he has to end up calling the tow truck because the car literally, as we were driving, you could hear gloop, gloop, gloop. Like you know how you get a flat tire and it makes that sound? That's the sound it was making, but there was no flat. So he called the tow truck company. Well, he calls insurance. And the insurance, because of where we were, was what they said it was privately owned. I'm like, I don't even know if roadways be privately owned, but there was only one tow truck company that could come and help us. So we sat there in a car, and as it's getting closer to like 1, I'm like, we're not gonna make it. I'm gonna need to go to the hospital. So I call up and I'm like, hey, I'm supposed to have a C-section today. I'm scheduled to come in at 1 o'clock. This is my doctor. I'm giving them all the information. And I'm like, I'm not going to be there on time. Can you let her know I'm running late? Okay, fine. Literally 10 minutes later, my doctor calls me. Hey, I heard you're running late. What's going on? So I tell her what's going on. She goes, okay, all right, breathe. Are you guys okay? And I'm like, yeah, we're good. She's like, okay, all right. So she runs me through everything to come in. She's like, all right, what I want you to do is when you're done, as soon as the tow truck gets there, give me a call. Do you have an idea of how long it's going to take? And I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know. We called. We're just there waiting. She's like, okay, give me a call once, the tow truck gets there, and then we'll work from there. I have everything we need. We're all set up. We're waiting. All right, great, cool. She's like, but don't worry, don't stress, just breathe, okay? I'm like, okay, I guess, I don't know, because I thought I was relaxed on the phone, but for whatever reason, maybe like she could sense that I was like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? Fine. So the tow truck, y'all, took forever. It took forever for them to come. Like, they were supposed to call us to like, hey, we're gonna be coming on the way. That's what the insurance company said, but we never got the phone call. So Better Bay is like, you know what? Let me see if I can make it to the off ramp. Now we're like about maybe 50 feet, maybe 50 to 75 feet from the off ramp to get off, so that we could get another tow truck company. He was able to. It took us a minute. In New York terms, it took us a while to actually get off the expressway to get onto the street. So once we got on the street, we then called back the insurance company. Now we're on the street. Okay, so now one of the local companies can come and get us. Y'all, by that time, it was maybe 2 o'clock. Yeah, maybe about 2 o'clock. My doctor called back. She said, okay, I got good news and I got bad news. And I'm like, okay. Good news is we're going to reschedule you. And I was like, okay. She's like, so we're going to reschedule you to tomorrow. Bad news is we're not going to be able to have the cell saver. I had, everything was paid for them to be there today. So we lose that. And I'm like, ugh. So she's like, I'm going to, make sure we have backup blood on hand should we need it, but we will not be able to use the cell saver. And I'm like, okay. She's like, however, I do want you to come into the hospital today. Once you're finished, give me a call. She's like, I normally do not do this, like ever do this, but I'm going to give you my personal number. You are to text me once you get to the hospital. Text, call, something. Let me know that you made it to the hospital and you're here. I'm like, okay, fine. So now we're waiting on the side, and I'm a little bit excited because now I know that I can drink. I open like the essential water and I'm guzzling. It's like a liter and a half. I'm guzzling the water. I did pack snacks in the hospital bag, so I'm opening snacks like I'm hungry. Okay, I'm hungry. So we're waiting on the side now for the local tow truck to come, which was, their service was great. Bear Bay called the insurance company. By the time he called the insurance company and the tow truck came, I want to tell you, within that time, it had to be maybe 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. They had us on, it's like, you're pregnant, let me help you in the truck, help me up into the truck, got the car on the lift and stuff to take us to, we were going to go to his job, which was in the area we were in. It wasn't too far. And then from there, have somebody from his job drive us to the hospital. But when he thought about it, he was like, you know what, let's just take it to a shop and then see about getting it repaired. He has a BMW, so that's not a run-of-the-mill, you can get it fixed, boom, 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 same day type of thing. Okay, so we get in a tow truck. We're in the tow truck. It has a weird smell, and when you're pregnant, your nose just... So I'm just like, oh, God, what is this smell? I can't. And mind you, I have a mask on, but the smell is still there. Whatever. So fine. We get to the shop. Once we get there, he asked if they could fix the car. The guy does the assessment, and he said, I'll let you know. We ended up taking an Uber from where we were at the shop to the hospital. I lied to y'all not. We got in that Uber. I passed out. Not passed out, but like I went to sleep. I was exhausted. So I went to sleep, and mind you, by that time, it was about probably 3:30, maybe almost 4 o'clock. So here in New York, that's like that's traffic. That is traffic galore. By the time we made it to the hospital, I think I woke up a few blocks from the hospital. Got to the hospital. I was like, we're going to, labor and delivery. We get there. They tell us what floor to go to. I get there. So I'm supposed to have a C-section, but blah, 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 blah. And she's like, oh, okay, I remember you called. And I was like, yeah, I did. She ends up telling us, okay, you guys can go into this room. We get into the room. A nurse comes in. She basically, not triaging, but she runs down all these questions. My blood type, am I okay at home, the situation, the boyfriend, this and that, and my blood type, and blah, 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 blah. She's running all these questions down to me, and then she tells me, she gives me a gown and stuff to get undressed, and she's like, put your stuff there, you're here for the night. And I was like, okay. So we were wondering if we were leaving that room, or he's like, no, you're just here until the morning, and then we're gonna shift you over. So in the midst of her talking, my doctor walks in. My doctor comes in, and she's like, well, hello there. I was like, hi. She said, you guys are safe. You made it here. She's like, now I am off tomorrow, but I'm coming in the morning just to do your surgery. We will schedule you'll schedule for 8 a.m. And I'm like, oh, 8 a.m. Okay, it's rather early, but all right. She's like, we will see you tomorrow morning. Like, all right, see you in the morning. So after she finished talking to me, I'm like, babe, I'm starving. He's like, you want food? What you want? Me? Cheeseburger, French fries, and a Pepsi. Listen. Let me tell you something. After a C-section, you need to be very careful about what you eat because those gas pains are no joke, okay? They're no joke. So I was like, look, then, if sis gonna have this last meal, we're gonna do this right. Give me what I want. I'm starving. Fine. He goes out to get the food. I'm there still answering questions. We start to relax. I start, to relax a little bit. I check in with my friends, my family. Hey guys, I'm okay. Cause some of my friends started to, is he here yet? Is he here? And I'm like, no, he's not here. Gotta repeat the story, But everybody's like, okay, at least you guys are okay. And I'm like, yeah, we are. So we chilled in the hospital. I'm gonna insert some video footage. It'll be, yeah. It'll be one of these places. That was the room we were in. You were just chilling. You could see Bay asleep. Like he was knocked out. And I was up watching Godfather Harlem. That's what I was binge watching at the time. And he actually ended up going out later because he's like, are you good for the night or do you want something else? And I was like, yeah. I was like, but I don't want anything too heavy. He was like, how you feel about like ramen? And I'm like, let's do it. And it was so delicious. It was so good. They had like I think if I pronounce it wrong, please forgive me. Udon noodles. They were nice and thick with the broth. It was delicious. So good. So after this happened, mind you, in the hospital, they come and they prick you and poke you every few hours. So when they initially tried to get the line in, she couldn't get in and was hurting me. So I ended up with a bruise on my arm. I don't think I have pictures of the bruises, but she couldn't do it. And the thing I loved about it is she was like, I can't do it. So if I can't get in the first time, I'm going to get somebody else. And I was like, thank you so much for that. Thank you. She actually did go and get someone else who got my line and got my IV line and started me on fluids. After that, I want to say we realized we need to go to sleep because I had to get up really early. So I'm thinking what time this was. Maybe about 2 a.m. Someone comes in, takes my temperature, does all the vitals and things, and I'm like, okay, I'm really trying to sleep, and it's not comfortable in a hospital bed, especially being pregnant. I'm trying to figure out if I can lay on my left side, my right side, and then I'm hooked to the machine on my belly, and a few times I did have some a few strong contractions, took my breath away, and I'm just like, and I'm just like, breathe, gonna breathe, girl, breathe. And they noticed at the nurse's station, so they wanted to clear with my doctor before they were able to take me off of the monitors for the baby's heart rate and my heart rate. Once they see, it was just maybe once in a blue, a strong contraction would come through and baby was okay, I was okay. They was like, okay, your doctor approved you, take you off. So I was able to sleep, but still I'm hooked up to the IV, which is in this arm. It just was really hard to get comfortable and sleep. About 5 a.m, I'm constantly getting up to go to the bathroom. Between me getting up to go to the bathroom and them actually coming in to do vitals, I feel like I barely got any sleep. They came in, a nurse came in and she said, I'm gonna come back and give you, I forgot what she called it, but I'm gonna give you this and you need to wipe down your whole entire belly and your pubic area. And I was like, okay. She left out, she came back and she gave it to me. It was warm, it was really warm. And I was like, wow, this is pretty warm. So I inserted, that's what it was that they asked me to wipe down with. So I get up and I wipe down and I'm kind of letting it dry or whatever. Literally the ball starts rolling from there. That was just the little time to go. My doctor comes in. How you doing? Good morning. Today's the day. How you feeling? And I'm like, she's like, okay, we're gonna get you guys prepped. You're gonna meet the team. Then we're gonna all come in and we're gonna all talk to you about what's gonna happen. And I need to give my date of birth. If am I aware of the surgery I'm having and everything else. I'm like, okay, cool. She leaves out, another doctor comes in, and she said something to the degree of we're gonna prep you, and then, you know, we'll bring in, you know, your boyfriend. And I said, bring in my boyfriend? I was told he couldn't come into the OR. So she was like, oh, like basically, let me go ask your OB, because yeah, that's what's happening. So my OB comes back, and then she's like, oh, I didn't tell you. So you're gonna be down here. We couldn't get the main operating room, so you'll be down here on the main maternal, you know, floor. We're gonna do a C-section here, and he can be in the room. Y'all, it was such a sigh of relief, because I was really, like, having a C-section alone is scary, but I was gonna be in there by myself, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so nervous, I'm so scared. But knowing that he would actually be able to come into the operating room, I felt so relieved. So I'm like, all right, cool, good. Like, I looked at him and I smiled, and I was like, yo, he wasn't meant to come on the 14th. He was meant to be born on the 15th, because so many things happened the day before. I was like, it just wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't meant to happen. You were meant to be in the operating room with me, to be there. So we get ready, and they're like, come on, we're gonna walk you to the operating room. And at this time, I'm a little scared. They give me some nasty stuff to drink. I forgot what she said it was for. I think it was like to relax me, or no, not relax. Kind of let the acids in my stomach kind of just chill, or something like that. I figured some medical person's gonna come on and tell me and correct me. So thank you, I appreciate that. But anyway, we walked to the OR. They propped me up on a table. They're talking the medical jargon for, you know, make sure the blood, blah blah blah. And I'm like, so I'm sitting there, and I'm praying silently, like, please, I don't let it come to the point that I have to get blood. I do not want blood. Like, I'm silently praying to ask that everything go okay. Let these doctors be of sound mind and sound body. Like, let them all be on the same, you know, path. They're all, you know, this is how we're gonna do things. There's no animosity. There's no bad energy in the room. I just need things to go really smooth, because I'm already nervous. I'm like, I would prefer not to get blood. I would prefer to come out with my uterus still. These are the things that I would like to have. Just let my baby come out healthy, close me back up. That's it. She brings in the anesthesiologist. The cool thing about my team is it was a team of women. All women. I was just like, this is so bomb. Oh my gosh, this is so bomb. The team was almost completely Black women, except one doctor. She was amazing. She was so I had to get they did two things. I had to get the spinal tap or spinal block. Pretty much makes me numb from my breasts down. Everything is numb. I had to get that, and then something else she said, and it might make me feel a little nauseous or something, but just let them know. And I was like, okay. So, and when you get this in your back, right, they set up in the back, the anesthesiologist, yo, first of all, she's a Black woman. I was just like, yo, she's bomb. Like, you're a woman, number one, and you're Black. Wow. I was amazed, okay? So the other doctor comes in front of me, and she's like, okay, lay down on me, and you're gonna hunch your back, come like a cat. So I'm holding on to her, and I'm bent over, holding on to her, and she's like, okay, you're gonna feel a little burning sensation. That's just like the numbing. And baby, did that burn, honey? I wanted to fan myself. But mind you, I can't move. So another aide that was in the room came over and was fanning me. She's like, you feel better? I was like, yeah, I felt a little bit better. She's like, okay, now we're gonna go ahead and, you know, give you the things that you need. And the anesthesiologist was missing something. And the doctor who was holding me says, hey, to another aide, go out, go get da-da-da-da. Person went out, came back, gave it to them. And I was just like, you guys really work together. This is great. She did everything, and they was like, okay, go ahead and lay down. And I'm waiting like, okay, when's my boyfriend gonna come in? When's he gonna come in? All right, I got this. Now I remember from with the twins, about that time when they were turning me to lay me down, my mom was at my head sitting there waiting for me to lay down, and she was holding my hand like, Q, you good? You okay? And we were talking. My boyfriend wasn't there yet, and I'm just like, where is he? When is he coming in? Is he still coming in? All right. But they laid me down, and they started doing all type of stuff. My OB came in. She got that I can't remember the name of it. Oh goodness, it's what they use to clean your belly. It's like brown liquid they use to, you know, make sure to get all the germs and stuff off of you, and just make sure it's a really, really clean surface. They use that thing to clean their hands too before surgery too. But she was wiping down my stomach with that again. The drape went up, and I was almost getting scared because I was like, where's my boyfriend? I did ask about the playlist, and I was like, ugh. I remembered he had my phone. I can't get access to the playlist. I was like, you know what? You guys can just play whatever. You could just play whatever. She's like, do you have a preference? I was like, kind of do like maybe R&B, nothing sad, no sad music. And he's like, okay. Can't tell you what was playing because I was just in my head. So the nurse before her asked me if I had questions, and I was like, I would like if someone could walk me through what's happening. And she's like, you know, I can't tell you every step of the way. I think her name was Miriam. I think that was her name. And she's like, anytime you need me. She was the one who was I think that was the anesthesiologist. She basically was telling me anytime, like if I needed her, you know, just call her over and she would go ahead and assist. So she told me that they would explain stuff to me or whatever, and I'm like, okay. She's like, but not every single thing. But she said she gave me a few keywords to listen out for. When y'all, I'm sorry, I'm still having like prego brain, so it's like a bit of a fog. She told me the word when they would be opening me up, and she told me the other word when they would actually be opening up the uterus to take the baby out. So I'm like, okay. So I heard her say it, but I'm like, damn, where's my boyfriend? So they had started, and was my boyfriend with this suit on. He's all, that's my baby, that's him. He all, you know, got his little suit on, and he's at my head, and he's like, you good, you okay? I'm like, and he's he was just rubbing my hand because I'm stretched out T-style, like, yeah. He's like rubbing me, and I'm sitting there waiting. Now, mind you, it's a lot of pressure. You don't feel anything, and they make sure you don't feel anything before they, you know, actually start. Y'all, when I tell you, all right, you ever go to the bathroom, like number 2, and right before you, like when you finally pass it, it's like, whew, I felt 10-15 pounds lighter. Y'all, I felt when they pulled him out, it was like my stomach went like it kind of deflated, and I heard my baby start like crying. He was crying, and I'm like, oh my god. When I heard because my son came out first with the twins. When Preston came out first, I cried because, you know, first baby, I cried, and I heard Peyton no more tears. But I thought I would cry when I heard Miles. I didn't cry, but I felt really emotional inside. I think because my mom was more worried on, okay, now that he's out, this is the big gap that, you know, we might have issues with. But I was just kind of focused on him. And the staff was so cool because they came and got Bay's phone and was taking pictures for us. And they asked about a bath. We had already talked, and we decided that we wanted to be the ones to give Miles his first bath. We did not want him to have a bath at the hospital because we wanted to give him that loving first experience, gentle ease. So we did not allow them to give him a bath. They just wiped him off. So he still had some of the vernix on his skin, which later on I was rubbing into his skin. If you look it up, you'll see that vernix on the baby's skin serves as a barrier. It protects them. and you need to rub it into their skin. That's what you're supposed to do. Definitely, I encourage you to look it up. I can't tell you need to, but I encourage you to actually look up giving your baby a bath in the hospital versus letting them keep that protective layer on, and you slowly rub it into their skin and letting it absorb, and it serving as a protection for them. Once they handed him, they gave him to Bay, and Bay was, I got to see him, and I was like, oh my God. And he was crying. That baby was, he was crying. They was holding him, and they were starting to close me up. And as they were starting, like, the pressure I was feeling was starting to get a little bit unbearable. If you see in the picture, my eyebrows are like, because it was not comfortable. And they was like, we're gonna go ahead and take him upstairs, and we'll, you know, once mommy comes out recovery, we'll bring him back. He was like, okay. As I'm there, and I'm just like, and he's like, you okay? I'm like, yo, it's a lot of pressure. Like, it's not comfortable. He's like, you sure? You asked him. I'm like, no, I'm gonna try and get through. I said, because I remember with the twins, when I got the extra, like, pain I felt, and they gave me something else, like I don't know what it was. They gave me more medicine, but once they gave it to me, I was so, like, loopy after, and I didn't want to be there, because for Miles, I'm exclusively breastfeeding him. Like, I want to be up to breastfeed him, have that skin to skin with him once we get out of recovery. But the anesthesiologist came out. She's like, we have something for you. You don't have to be there, you know, uncomfortable. You don't have to. And I'm just like, no, I'm gonna try. And at a certain point, he was like, babe, if you need it, just go ahead and get it. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, you can give it to me. Y'all, she gave me that stuff. I did feel a lot more comfortable. I felt a lot more comfortable, but let me tell y'all, they escorted him out. They said, we're gonna bring her out soon. They finished everything, and then they moved me to, like, a regular, off the operating table. They moved me into a regular bed and was rolling me to recovery. I was shaking. I was so cold. I was so cold. I was so cold. I was up. I was alert. I didn't fall asleep. I wanted to go to sleep so that I could just bounce back, but I wasn't able to go to sleep because I was so cold. Bear the Bay came in, and he was like, hey, your mom's here. My mom was very, very persistent about coming upstairs. She's like, I don't give a doggone what they saying about COVID. I don't care about one person. That is my child up there. My mother said, if I gotta put on a white coat myself, I'm gonna be up there. And let me tell you, if you know one thing with my mother, just let it be great. Just let it be great. Let her do her own thing. She sure enough got up there. Don't ask me how she got up there, but she got up there. She was outside of the recovery room actually waiting for me, and he told me, and I was like, okay, good. And I'm there, and I'm talking to him. But later on in recovery, he's like, yo, you was talking kind of crazy. Like, I said I was. He was like, yeah, you wasn't making sense. Like, I was like, I wasn't. He was like, nah. So with me being so cold, the nurse who was in charge of the recovery came and, like, put heaters underneath it. I was shaking. I was so cold. I just couldn't. And she was taking my temperature, and my temperature was like, I had almost like a fever. And she's like, we can't move you. We gotta wait till it's normal. We can't move you. And I'm just like, I need to see my baby. And Miles was born at, was it 8:59? Yeah, he was born at 8:59. So I'm just like, I need to see him. He has to eat. I need to see him. And he was like, you're gonna see him. You just gotta you have to bring your fever down. Y'all, it took forever. It really took a long time. Mind you, I told you I had him at 8:59. I think by the time I came out, it might have been maybe something to 10. I didn't actually leave out of the recovery room. It's almost 1 o'clock. And then we had an issue with someone helping the woman transport me to the room that I would be in. She needed assistance, and no one was there to assist her. And I was getting annoyed because I'm like, I want to go. I just want to go. But anyway, hold on. I'm going to go get the baby. Hold on. So, this is baby Mouse. He was sleeping. He was sleeping. Yes. Yes, you say hi. You say hello. Say hello, people. You say hello. Yeah, I know. Mommy kind of picked you up. You say hello. You say hi. I'm getting him mid-nap. Hopefully he doesn't want to eat soon. Yeah, you say hi. Okay, I'll put you up. I'll put you up. Yeah, so this is baby Miles, my little stinker poo. Yeah, the pandemic babies, yes, he will hold his head up and look. Yeah, all type of things. But anyway, that's the story, guys. But thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, you saying goodbye too? Okay. You stretching? Stretching? Yes? You stretching? Yes? You see? Let me turn you around. Oof, oof, oof. I turn you around. Yes? Oh, look, you see yourself? Yeah, you see yourself? Okay, anyway, we're gonna go. I will be back. Thank you again. Bye, guys.